that the children of cousin marriages are more than twice as likely as other children to suffer severe birth defects. That is
Yeah.
a shocking and terrible statistic. And it's not like it's something we don't see in a country like Britain. It's 20 years now since the Labour MP Anne Cryer.
While Starmer insists digital ID is the silver bullet for illegal migration, what he's not telling you is that every Channel boat still sails and every hotel migrant still cashes in. This isn't about borders, it's about tracking you. Stick with me after this clip. I'll show you the Blair-era blueprint they've quietly rebooted, why it won't turn back a single dinghy, and the one obvious step ministers refuse to take.
Absolutely. Now, before you go, I don't know if you caught this story. The NHS, the National Health Service, has come under fire for claiming that first cousin marriage is linked to stronger extended family support systems and economic advantages. There you go, Douglas. Never mind the moral issue or the very serious birth defects of children born from these unions. Apparently, there's all sorts of economic advantages.
Yeah, I mean, the idea that the National Health Service, which is, by the way, as you know, one of the largest employers in the world, somewhere around the same figures as the Chinese Communist Party's army, the idea that the National Health Service, which is so woeful at providing actual health care to the British public, would think to be stepping into the realm of giving advice on the economics of certain marital unions. Actually, they should stick with the health stuff, which they just don't do very well. The NHS, if it was being honest, would admit to the fact that the children of cousin marriages are more than twice as likely as other children to suffer severe birth defects. That is a shocking and terrible statistic. And it's not like it's something we don't see in a country like Britain. It's 20 years now since the Labour MP Anne Cryer said that in her constituency in the north of England, the hospitals had a serious problem with the children of cousin marriages of people from Pakistan and Bangladesh in particular, coming to the UK, having children with severe birth defects, and that this was putting strains on the National Health Service. Of course, then as now, everybody decides to shoot the messenger, and lots of people said Anne Cryer, the Labour MP, was racist for raising this issue about the welfare of children and the standing of the NHS. But, you know, this is a classic example of something everyone can now notice, which is that entities like the NHS effectively try to retrofit their own purpose in order to fit in with the diverse multicultural society. The NHS must know that if it put out guidance saying, please don't marry your first cousin from Mirpur, even if your dad says you're going to get a great wedding dowry, don't do it, because you're very likely to have a child with unbelievably problematic health issues from birth. That would be a really good thing to do. But of course, that might get the NHS into trouble, because after all, it would be true. And I mean, what right do they have to tread into this domain? It's such an indictment, not just of the NHS and its leadership, but of a society in which stories like this come out now almost on a daily basis.
It just shows you how corrupted that bureaucracy is with this poisonous thinking. It really is crazy. But I just want to point out to the viewers that President Trump has again praised your work, Douglas. I noticed this all over X and social media sites. President Trump is saying to go out and purchase this book, impactful book on democracies and death cults. It's quite a good endorsement there, Douglas, the leader of the free world, encouraging people to read your latest work.
Yes, I was very pleased to see that. The president issued that truth over the weekend as he was preparing for the meetings on the peace deal that's being put forward in the Middle East So I was very pleased that my recent book was the forefront of his mind on that, or anywhere in his mind on that. I think it was. I was very flattered that that would be the case. And yes, and there's a lot in the book that I think could be useful to people considering the future of the region, because there are a lot of unpopular truths and unpopular facts which I encourage my readers to absorb, and which I'm very, very glad when political leaders show that they are absorbing those.
Now you've seen the clip. Here's what they're not telling you. Starmer's digital ID isn't about stopping the boats, it's about tracking every British citizen while the dinghies keep coming. But that's just the beginning. The most concerning part is the Blair-Era document that reveals exactly what they really want to do with your data. You saw Douglas Murray perfectly demolish the migration narrative. But here's what the BBC didn't tell you about this story. In 2004, Tony Blair's government produced a confidential White House paper called Transformational Government. I've got the leaked sections right here. It lays out in chilling detail how digital ID would change the relationship between citizen and state forever. And guess what? The same civil servants who wrote it are now advising Starmer's team. That's bad enough, but wait until you hear this. Those civil servants include the same people who ran the ID card scheme that David Cameron scrapped in 2010. They've been waiting 14 years for their revenge. And here's where it gets really concerning. The new scheme isn't just about proving who you are. It's about creating a digital exhaust of everything you do. Every job application, every GP visit, every bank transaction. They want to know where you shop, who you meet, how you travel. Now here's how this connects to the migration scam they're running. Starmer claims it's about stopping illegal working. Absolute rubbish. The Home Office already has every tool it needs to raid employers. They've had them since 2016. But here's what I'm about to show you that will change how you see this completely. In 2023, under the Tories, they conducted just 48 workplace immigration raids across the entire United Kingdom. 48! In a country of 67 million people. They're not interested in catching illegal workers, they're interested in controlling legal ones. I've got the documents that prove the real agenda starts next year. The consultation papers, buried during the summer recess, reveal Phase 2. Once everyone has digital ID, they'll link it to a new social credit system. Mandarins are already calling it nudging at scale. You drive too much, your carbon score drops. Say the wrong thing online, your digital reputation suffers. They're creating a system where the government decides who's a good citizen. But here's the part that will really surprise you. The technology they're planning to use comes straight from communist China. The same facial recognition, the same biometric tracking, the same centralized database architecture. British civil servants have been visiting their counterparts in Beijing since 2019, learning how to manage population behavior. In the model they're copying, citizens with low social credit scores can't book train tickets, stay in hotels, or even get their children into good schools. Now those same bureaucrats want to impose it here. Every parent and homeowner needs to understand this. Your digital ID will track everything about your family. The school's attendance records, your children's medical history, your property ownership details, your council tax payments, even what you feed your kids at home. In the test systems they've already built, algorithms frag families who don't follow government guidelines. Too many takeaways? That's logged. Missed dentist appointments? That's noted. Children playing outside unsupervised? That triggers intervention alerts. This is exactly what Douglas Murray warned about when we lose control of our borders and our institutions. Because here's what happens next. Once they control your digital identity, they control your access to society. No ID, no banking. No ID, no healthcare. No ID, no travel. It's happening already in the pilot schemes they're running in 3 northern cities. People who've questioned migration policies online are finding their digital ID needs verification. Can't access their GP, can't renew their driving license, can't even buy a phone contract.
Ask yourself this: why would any democratic government want this level of surveillance? Let's follow the money. The contracts for this system run into billions. Guess who's already positioned to win them? The same tech giants who bankroll Starmer's party. The same surveillance companies who built the Chinese system. The same advisory groups who've been lobbying for digital control since Blair's day. They're not anti-division at all. They're creating a divided society where the compliant get privileges and the independent-minded get frozen out. But here's the most important thing, the thing that changes everything. We don't have to accept this. As someone who cares about Britain's future, I can tell you exactly how we fight back and win. First, every viewer needs to contact their local Conservative association now. Not the wishy-washy centrists. Find the real Conservatives, the ones who believe in British freedom. Second, refuse to comply with voluntary registration. Make them force it. Third, support Reform UK and any Conservative MP who publicly rejects this scheme. Here's exactly what we do as British citizens who still believe in liberty. We demand our local councils refuse to cooperate with digital ID rollout. We're already seeing this in parts of Essex, and council leaders saying they won't share data with the national database. Brilliant! Every viewer needs to email their council today saying the same thing. Fourth, we're launching legal challenges. The Human Rights Act protects our privacy. The common law tradition protects our freedoms. They want to turn Britain into a surveillance state. Make them fight for it in court. Fifth, and most crucial, spread the word. Time is running out to stop this. The consultation closes in 8 weeks. Once they push this through, reversing it becomes nearly impossible. Those of us who still believe in British freedom must act now. Share this video, contact your MP, join the campaigns. Because here's the brutal truth. If we don't stop digital ID now, we'll wake up in a country where the government knows everything about you, but you can't stop a single boat crossing the channel. The choice facing Britain is stark. We can stay a free society that trusts its citizens, or we become a surveillance state that treats everyone like suspected criminals. The elites want the latter because it gives them control. But the British people have never accepted tyranny, and we're not about to start now. This is why supporting proper border control matters. This is why protecting British liberties matters. This is why we must never surrender our freedom to government diktat. Remember what I said at the beginning about tracking you rather than migrants? Now you've seen the proof. Starmer's digital ID won't stop illegal immigration. It'll legalize government control over your life while the dinghies keep coming. Don't let them get away with it. The fight for British freedom starts today.